Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's guide to Ball Pit, shall we? This game is super fun. It's a survivors-like ARPG that kind of plays a little bit like Pinball or Galaga and has a very interesting meta progression system as well. And what we're going to do in this guide is I've started a brand new account so that you can follow along and I can explain the controls, the UI, some tips and tricks, how to survive, what's going on in this game so that you can be successful and enjoy it. It is a sensation and it's a ton of fun, but like many of these games, it's going to start out very difficult because we don't have any build-up. Our character is not leveled up, we don't have any power-ups, we don't know what we're doing, so don't be discouraged at all if you get wrecked in the beginning of the game. In fact, it's pretty much par for the course. So before we get going, while the game is paused, let's just talk about a few of the elements on the screen. In the upper left, you're going to see our gold, and below that, you're going to see a spiky ball, and that is the starter ball, the special ball that this character, the warrior, begins with. And everybody starts out with the warrior, and the warrior starts with this ball. And you're going to be firing this ball automatically. It just does it by itself. Now, you could turn off auto fire, but these games are meant to be played with just auto fire. And that ball will do significant damage. And then we'll also be firing these small balls, these kind of whitish balls that are basically like our auto fire, that will be bouncing around everywhere and doing damage. And then below the spiky ball indicator, you're going to see a kind of sword with a red pool. That sword is going to fill up. The gauge in the center is our experience, and the red little circle in the bottom left is our health indicator. And then on the right, you're going to see a gauge that's basically like your progress through the level, and eventually it'll turn into the boss's hit points if you make it to the end. And then very importantly, in the upper right, there is a game speed. Now, I'm playing this game with a controller, and with the controller, you can use left and right bumpers to speed or slow, to speed up or slow down the game. And I recommend, like, if the game is getting too crazy and you're not able to kind of dodge the shots and things are just a little bit too frenetic for you, just slow it down. Now, I play at the top speed for now, and I think that's just fine. And now what they're telling us is that we can use the left stick to move our character, and we're going to aim with the right stick. So you could shoot with right trigger, or you can just enable auto fire, and you could go into the settings, and let's just take a look at some of the settings. So I do not have manually activate level up screen. I have that automatically happen. I have vibration on, whatever, that's no big deal. You can disable damage numbers if you think the screen gets too cluttered, and you can allow even slower game speeds if you want. You can adjust the cursor and how it moves if you want to play like one-handed, and you can even remap things. If you look at the button mappings, you'll see that shoot is right trigger, but if you push the Y button on the face pad, it just enables auto fire. And then, as I said, basically right bumper and left bumper are speed. You move with the left stick, aim with the right stick, and that's all we need to know. So I'm going to go back in, and you can see that my character is automatically firing this spiky ball. Now, if I move the right stick, you'll see the dotted line coming out of our character. That is the trajectory that our balls will fire. And in general, you actually kind of want to bounce your balls around. You want to try to play it like Pinball and get them stuck up behind the enemies so that they are bouncing around off the top of the screen and just hitting all of the enemies all the time. Sometimes if you want to just focus something down, you need to do DPS, you need to defeat something that's coming down to the bottom of the screen, then you could shoot straight ahead so that you could catch your ball. And just keep firing on that. That's fine. But usually you want to try to get these babies bouncing around and not wasting time down at the bottom of the screen. Now, speaking of that, every time you catch your ball, instead of letting it go behind you or bounce around you, it allows you to throw it again so that you have more opportunity to do damage with your special balls. This only applies to your special balls, but it's a great way to just do some more damage, because if it goes down below you, then it's going to bounce around down there and just waste time when it could be up top doing damage. There's also some passives and some abilities that trigger when you catch the ball. Now it's telling us, just like in the Survivor's Like, we're going to collect gems to gain experience. So there's kind of glowy cubes that you see. There's different colors that denote different levels of experience, and we're just going to collect these like that, and you can see as I collect them, the bar in the bottom left is slowly filling up in the middle of the sword with blue. That's my experience. Now, it says enemies will attack you if they get close to you or reach the bottom of the screen. So one thing you got to remember is, because when I first booted this game up, I was playing it like Galaga or an old school shooter, and you move left to right most of the time, but you can also move north and south. So make sure that you're moving everywhere. But if you move up close to the enemies, it reduces the amount of time that your ball is going to take to bounce, which is good. But if you're close to the enemies, they can actually swing at you. Now, they'll indicate with like an exclamation point, like, I'm going to attack you. And as long as you're not close to them, you won't get hit. But also, kind of like Tetris, they're coming down the screen at you. If they get to the bottom of the screen, they're just going to start automatically attacking you regardless of where you're positioned. They'll just fly at you. So you need to kill them before they get down there. And you can see that I like the damage numbers myself just to know how much I'm doing, but you could turn them off. Also, the enemies have a visible display of damage. You'll see them getting bloodied or damaged or chipped, so you know if you're hitting them. It does explain that if you turn off auto-firing, you will move faster, like you walk slower while shooting, but I just don't mind. I want to be shooting all the time. And finally, what we talked about, you can adjust the game speed with left and right bumper. So you see I'm on the fastest that I can go down. This is the slowest speed. You see how slow it's moving right now? And that is everything. That's me and the enemies. Okay, great. We just leveled up for the first time. So when you level up, you're going to see your character picture, and then you're going to see your attributes, and then one of your attributes randomly will level up. And for right now, our endurance went +1 as we leveled up. Now, what does that mean? Well, push Y for the detailed stats. This is super helpful. So what this does is explains to you what every stat is doing. So endurance is hit points. So getting +1 endurance is giving me 10 more hit points. Strength is just the base damage of your balls, and your leadership dictates how many baby balls, or what I called small balls before, the little white balls. Those are called baby balls. And the higher your leadership, the more of those you can have and the more damage they do. Speed is how fast your balls go and also how fast you move. Dexterity is fire rate and crit chance. And then intelligence is like the AoE damage that you're doing, the area of effect damage you're doing, your status effects like bleed, and your passive powers and how they scale. So this gives you a feel for like what your character is good at, and you know, based on right now we only have the warrior, so that's it. So with just the warrior, we can see that this is a kind of a high strength and endurance character for now. But our scaling is not very good with any of this. We're at the bottom, but we can improve all of these things later. Now, this level up right now that we did is just for in the run. It's not permanently affecting our warrior, but after we're done with the run, whatever character that we use will get experience, and then they will permanently level up. So when you start out the next run, and forever, they will just be stronger. So in the run, I just got some more hit points. So I'm just going to accept it. And then after you accept your stat gain, you can't choose that. That just happens. You get to then make a decision, and it's a choose 3. And what am I choosing? Well, you can see here, I have 2 rows of items. I have special balls, where I have my spiky ball in the top row, the bigger cards, and then below that are my passives. And right now I'm being offered 2 passives and a special ball. I can get a short bow, which increases my fire rate by 15%. This is a passive. You can have 4 of these. Or I can get a new ball, which is an earthquake ball, which hits enemies, and then it does like a big 3x3 tile AoE effect for 4 to 11 damage. Or I can get fleet feet, which increases my movement speed by 10% and lets me move at full speed while shooting, which is actually a tremendous boost. So these are all really good, to be honest with you. But what I recommend first, just so you can scale up, because a lot of the challenge that you're going to face is just making sure you can do enough damage to keep up with the enemies. So to do damage, we're going to get these special swirly fusion upgrades that allow us to evolve our special balls or passives or fuse them together. And what we want to do is, you can see how there's a number 1 above like Earthquake and above the spiky ball. If we can level those up to 3, and we have, once they get to 3, which is the max level, then if we have another one, we can fuse them together or evolve them if they qualify for evolution. Now, you can find full lists of all of the combinations online, just like Vampire Survivors, for what balls can actually evolve together. If you're interested, or you can just figure them out as you go. So what I recommend right here is to take the Earthquake ball so that we can get at least 2 balls and start leveling them up so we can fuse them together. Because what happens is, you see how I can only have 4 special balls and 4 passives, but if I fuse them together, then it opens up a new slot where I can get yet another ball, and I can keep freeing up space to make myself stronger, to evolve my balls or fuse them together so that I get even stronger. So I'm going to take this Earthquake special ball, and you could see its effect every once in a while. You see how, it's doing its thing there. I'm going to speed the game back up. And I like just walking around, and then you see how I'm shooting at an angle right here? So this is just like sending the balls all over the place, and I just try to get them, but as this guy is getting down to the bottom, like these guys are getting down low, you got to hit him. But also make sure you move around and get the experience. So this is a kind of a frantic game, because if the experience goes too far below the screen, then you've lost it. You're not going to get it. So make sure you're moving left and right, you're getting the experience, but you're also paying attention to where you're aiming, trying to catch your special balls so you can launch them out faster. We got a little speed upgrade here, and now we can get a burn ball, level up our Earthquake ball, and get the Emerald Hilted Dagger, which makes us do more damage when we hit from the right side. So sometimes you'll get passives like this, which really incentivize you to make sure you're firing at a particular trajectory to hit them either from the right or the left or head on. I'm going to take the burn ball. If I level up the Earthquake, you can see it's going to, the numbers change to yellow, meaning the improvement. So, I'm going to do more damage overall with both the AoE and the main damage. But I'm going to go ahead and just take the burn ball to get myself a 3rd special ball. Now the enemies are actually firing. So you can see there's some, enemies with bows in the back, and they're just shooting these flaming arrows. So this is another thing that we have to dodge. Here we go. There is a swirly upgrade. That is going to allow us to fuse some things together, or usually fission. So this fission upgrade will randomly level up 1 or more of our pieces of equipment. So we can see right here, we'll take it and push A, and then we ended up only getting 1 thing plus 1 level. But sometimes you can get 3, you can get 5. We only have 3 things right now. So we got the worst roll, but it's still better than nothing. All right, we got some more hit points, we leveled up, and now what do we want? Well, we can get a turret which floats around us and shoots a baby ball every 2 seconds, which is quite nice. But I'm going to take a poison ball and just concentrate. Now I have 4 special balls to fire. The poison ball will inflict the enemies. You'll see them turning green. And so they're just getting this damage over time, this poison status effect on them. And I'm just trying to angle my shots a little bit, but you can see on this side, the enemies are getting really, really close to the bottom, so I gotta kill them. And I gotta make sure I collect the experience as well. Did you see that red exclamation point on the enemy? That meant it was going to rear back and attack me. Now, what I like to do is try to get a level up before you get the fission upgrade, because if you have more things to level up, you could even get more benefit from them. So in this case, I can get the eye, which gives me a 10% chance to dodge incoming attacks, the rubber headband, which makes the balls start slow, but then they get faster with each bounce, or I could level up the poison ball. And I'm going to go ahead and level up the poison ball, and then I'm going to pick this up. And because nothing is level 3, the only upgrade I'm going to see right here is fission. So this time we got the best possible for our build, which is all 4 of our specials leveled up. Now, if we had a passive, that could have leveled up too, but we don't, so we get this. But this is tremendous. And what this means is that you'll notice, and you can see in the upper left, the level of all of our special balls. Our spiky ball is now top level. So if we can level up another ball, then we can start, maybe evolving or at least fusing together to make room for more damage. So I'm just walking left and right, and you can see not only am I getting experience, but I'm also getting gold. And so you can see in the upper left I have 6 coins. Gold is what we're going to use to purchase buildings and upgrades within our base. But let me show you right here. My strength went up, which is great, more damage. You can also spend 5 coins to re-roll these abilities that you get to choose from when you level up. So if you don't like these, you can just go ahead and re-roll. Now, I actually really like the Warhorn because it just makes your baby balls, which are always firing and bouncing, do more damage. I think it's quite strong, so I'm going to take it instead of leveling up Earthquake. Now, if I level up Earthquake, there is the possibility that I get to fuse, but Poison is already level 3. So I want some passives at this point. That big gold bar is worth more gold. You can see I have 20 gold now. And you see how there's some green experience, and then there's some blue. The green is worth more. And now, okay, I'm going to try to level up if I can. So I'm just going to get this. And now, look at this. We have an evolution available. Evolution fuses certain combinations of fully upgraded balls into powerful new balls. Okay, perfect. So instead of, you could pick fission and just level things up, but I'm going to take evolution, and you could see that our poison and our spiky ball are fully leveled, so I fuse them together and evolve them, and they become the virus. So this is a new ball. It's level 1, and it applies 1 stack of disease to units it hits, max 8 stacks, and it lasts for 6 seconds. It does damage over time, and they have a chance to pass it, so we're giving them COVID. And this is fantastic. And now you can see I only have 3 balls, so I can get yet another ball. Now at this point, you notice in the bottom right how the gauge has filled up to the ball with the exclamation point, and the stage got bigger. The walls widened. What that means is that there is a boss on the screen, and we're going to need to take that down, so we'll do that in a moment. Our dexterity went up, and now we can choose a new ball or upgrade our passive or Earthquake. I'm going to choose the Wind Ball because it's quite strong, and I like to have as many specials as I can. And so there's all these like lower level enemies in front of the boss who's at the back, and the boss is slowly moving down toward us. So we want to make sure that we kill everything here, and then now we're just going to start firing at the boss. But instead of firing directly at it, I want to kind of do a little bit of an angle job here, so I'm killing everything around it. I want to hit it, of course, but you can also just walk right up and fire point blank if you wish. Our strength goes up, and short bow is phenomenal. I love the short bow as a passive. It just makes us fire faster, and who wouldn't want that? So I'm going to fire just straight on at this guy and try to catch our balls if possible, so that we're just firing them. You see we're just doing a lot of damage. Let's move back. We don't want to get hit by this guy, and he's dead. And when you kill a boss, you're going to get, at the very least, some kind of fission upgrade like that. And I'm just going to collect our power-ups. We've leveled up. Our dex is up. And we get the opportunity now to level up a ball or boost our fire rate. I'm going to start leveling up some balls so I can get another evolution if possible at some point. Okay, good. I want to level up before I pick that up because... alright, fine. I'll level up wind, and I'll take this. So we're just going to level up as many things as we can. Excellent. Okay, so now we have 3 balls at level 3. So the next evolution that we get, we should be able to evolve if we have a combination, but if we don't, then we can at least do a fusion. All right, great, there it is. And we actually want to get this right away because we're losing damage. There's 3 evolutions available, so we get to pick which one we want. I'm just going to take this one on the left, and we'll just kind of, you see how there's a yellow silhouette, but we don't know what's in there because we haven't unlocked this evolution. Once you've unlocked it, you will be able to see in the future and plan better, like for what balls you feel are the most powerful, that you want, that are the right ones for the circumstance. So I'm just going to pick this one. And we get the Inferno. So this applies 1 stack of burn every second to all enemies within a 2-tile radius. And how about that? And we level up. And we can level up our Virus. We can get the Magnet, which increases our pickup range. Or we can get the Crown of Thorns, which destroys enemies when you get hit. I'm going to level up my Virus to just have it do more damage to everything. Because I don't want to get behind on damage. I lost some experience there. Because things are moving really quick. We can slow it down just a bit to normal speed. You can see I just picked up some wheat right there. That is a base building resource. And we haven't even seen that yet. We'll see that when we finish the run here. So you can see my Inferno ball like flying around, just doing its thing. And we're just giving everybody viruses and making them burn. And let's get our experience. And let's make sure none of the enemies get too low. Kill this guy. There we go. And we can level up. How about that? That is amazing. We'd love to get another ball, and we'd love to get some more passives. So we're just going to... There we go. Leveled up. Oh, baby. So, we could level up Inferno to 3, but there's a laser. I love lasers. So you can get either a horizontal or a vertical laser, and I'll show you what this bad boy does. This just... You see, it just launches a horizontal that just hits an entire row. And I just really, really like lasers. I think they look good, obviously, but I think I feel like they do a great amount of damage. Now, one of the really cool things about this game is at the end of the run, you're going to get to see, I'm going to slow it down to the slowest level. You're going to actually get to see the DPS of everything, your baby balls, your special balls, and see what was the MVP, like what was really doing the most damage. Now, if you play on the slow like this, it's also easier to catch your balls. So that way, you know, you can make sure that you're getting them. I am going to run over here and get this. Okay. Fission time. That's too bad. We rolled badly. That's one of the things you're going to notice about this game. Sometimes you can get a really big swing with an upgrade where you just level up 5 times and you are immensely powerful. And then sometimes you whiff like that and you cry. All right, we've leveled up. Our intelligence went up. I'm going to go ahead and max out the virus ball. I like it. Okay, a new boss on the screen. It's widening up. Let's take it down. And we need to start killing these things. I'm going to start trying to shoot some balls in here just so that we get some nice bounces. Now, I got hit because I was standing in place trying to aim, and sometimes that happens. So I got hit by some arrows. So you're going to see that there will sometimes be potions that drop that will heal you. But not to full, just a little bit. Okay. And there we go. I'm just going to dodge these arrows. Okay. And now I'm going to focus on... most of the enemies are dead here, so I'm going to focus on trying to kill the boss. I'm just going to dodge their arrows. I'm going to shoot behind the boss and just try to do as much damage back here as I can. And then we need to take these guys out. Okay, I'm going to just fire dead on. We really, really need to kill this boss before anything bad happens. You can shoot the arrows out of the sky sometimes. Okay, so the boss is going to start hitting us. But we just got it. Okay, that was really close. So we took a big amount of damage right there because you could see we're just not doing... large amount, I should say. We're not doing a lot of damage. We could take the Radiant Feather, which increases ball launch speed, but we get knocked back. We can upgrade our short bow, or we can get the upturned hatchet. I'm going to go ahead and take the short bow. You can evolve passives if you level them up as well. Okay, and now we have fusion available. So we're going to take it, and this is just going to let us blend Virus and Earthquake. This is not an evolution, but if we fuse them together, then they do each other's effects. They can be quite powerful. And so you can see how the effects have blended here. It frees up another slot for us. There's a potion that can heal us. we've leveled up. Our intelligence has gone up. I'm taking the ghost ball. Yeah. So this passes through enemies, which is actually really good. Make sure I try to get some of this experience. We're probably going to miss some, but that was a really intense moment for us. So you can see now, we have this kind of evolved ball, and then now we also have a fused ball, and we have 4 specials. We're doing our best. Oh boy. Okay, this is getting crazy. I have it on the fastest speed, by the way. But unfortunately, and it's normal. Like, to get outpaced on your first run is super normal because you're just learning the game and you don't know what you want, and it gets really, really hard. So what do we want? Well, I can level up my Inferno ball, my Ghost. I'm going to level up the Inferno and see if we can get, you know, anything from that eventually. We got hit, unfortunately. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and... There we go. Oof. Taking a lot of damage. Not doing very much damage is the scary thing. Okay, intelligence goes up. I am going to just level up the laser. I'm looking... I think it would be a great boost if we could get some kind of, you know, evolution. There's a fusion available, which we'll take. So we're going to fuse Inferno and laser. Now, the consequence of doing this is we could miss out on a more powerful evolution, but what I like to do is just gauge it based on, like, how close are the enemies getting down to the bottom? And if I feel like I'm having trouble defending the bottom, I just do everything I can to fuse, to upgrade, and I don't care about, like, getting fancy with a particular, like, really trying to force something. But if I'm dominating and I can afford to wait, you know, maybe. Okay, great. Leadership up. I'm going to take the stone effigy. This is okay. It just helps. This little guy will be summoned and will just kind of march forward and do damage for us. It's useful. There you see on the far right, our little stone effigy is moving along there. We'll try to fight. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's getting spicy here. So Skeleton Man in the back is the boss of the first area. We got some endurance. Okay. So I'm going to take the Broodmother. This is another special ball, and the Broodmother is going to launch, you know, some more baby balls. And now you see we are moving backward as we're, like, fighting the boss backward. But this actually ends up being okay. The power-ups are getting pushed to us. Now what you're really focusing on is just dodging these purple arrows and keeping your damage at the boss. But you need to bounce it around because the front of the boss, you can't hit. You're hitting the crown in the back of the boss's head. So what we're going to do is just try to see if we can bounce some balls back there and also dodge these arrows. Get away from the boss, don't let him hit you. You see the Skeleton King's hit points? Also, what you can see is that he has, like, that ray attack where you just need to not be in that danger zone. Where we've got him down to about half health right now. And if this gets too crazy, just slow it down. Yep, just move out of that and then try to dodge the purple arrows. I usually just try to stay at the very bottom, and I got hit by not a purple arrow, but by a flaming arrow, unfortunately. There we go. Okay. So this is slow. Like, this is not an easy thing to do, and just be patient. Just focus. What I like to do is I'm looking at my character, and I'm just kind of, I'm aiming, but I'm trying my best to just dodge these purple arrows. Obviously, don't stand in that. And we got him. Okay, so that was pretty lucky. I will tell you, the first time I played this game, I did not win on the first run. I died horribly a few times until I got the hang of it. So we got some nice balls, some nice evolutions, and by winning, we have unlocked the sheriff's office. So I'm telling you, no shame if you don't clear it the first time. You might, you may not. It's not really about that. The game is about continuing to try and keep building. And you will just get stronger over time. And as you get better at the game, understanding how to play, you will clear it. And now we can unlock a new character. We also get a cozy home to unlock a new character. But you could see to build this, we need 20 wheat and 5 wood. And what does that even mean? We also get this trophy. And we got a gear. And we get some stats. And you can see, look, the warrior has leveled up to level 2, permanent +1 endurance and strength. Now the warrior's leveled up again, more strength and more dexterity. So what this means is that even if you lose, you'll get experience. And you'll be able to use that to make your character stronger so it's easier the next time. Now at level 3, we get these upgrades, which are for base harvesting. So we can get the Woodmaster, which means increase the harvest clock by 2 seconds each time harvesting wood, or pierces through boulders when harvesting. So I actually like Stone Piercer so that your balls don't bounce off of the boulders. And now you get a breakdown of how much experience you got, what blueprints you unlocked. We got a gear, and then you can look at your DPS on the right. You can see like what did the most damage for us, and it's pretty eye-opening. For us, the baby balls actually were not super good because we didn't have a lot launching them. What was the most powerful for us was our Inferno ball, our laser, and our fused ball was insane. Like but that aggregates all different levels of it. So, we fused the spiky ball into the poison ball, into the virus ball, and then we evolved them into the virus ball, and then we fused the virus with the earthquake to create this death ball that was most of our damage, 200,000 of our damage. But then the Inferno ball, no slouch, and the laser, you can see, not a lot of total damage because I didn't have it very long, but its DPS, its damage per second, gives you an indication of just how much damage it was doing every time it was fired. And why lasers are so good. All right, so now we've added all of these new upgrades which can be found in our run. So there's a new ball and 3 new passives. And this is new ball Balon, our home base. So we're going to push Y to open the sidebar, and we can plant wheat to get started. So this is a little complicated at first, but let's just explain this. So we're going to select the wheat field. It costs 30 gold. And we have this little area where we can build it. So you just drop that in there. And then we're going to open up the sidebar. And then they want us to put a forest tile. So it costs 50. And it costs some wheat. So we can drop that. And then we can go here. And now you have some resource tiles. You have to send someone out to harvest them. So unfortunately, in the tutorial, you just have to harvest right now, even though it's not ideal. But let me explain what's going on here. You can zoom in and out with the up and down on the directional pad. And you can use left trigger and the right stick to kind of like pan around like this if you want. But what you want to do is aim with your character. Now, however many characters you have unlocked, they will attempt to harvest resources like a pinball game. So if they go through the tile, like if they go through the wheat, they will get the wheat, and they will get 1 wheat. And they need to hit the forest to get it. But they don't go through it, they will bounce off of it. So you can see how this guy is going to like go up, then bounce off the forest, and then go back down, and then bounce. And in the upper left, I have 6 seconds of just bouncing around to gather resources. And you only get 1 shot per day, which means basically per run. But also, if you log off and come back on after a while, you should have another run, another time to harvest available too. So if I fire right here, I'm going to... It says your workers have a limited time per harvest before getting harvested, and you can hold B to speed it up or Y to cancel it. So watch. You can see them just flying around. I hold B, and they'll just bounce, bounce, bounce. And we got 1 wheat and 1 wood, a successful harvest. You'll need the resources you gathered to construct other buildings and upgrades. Okay, cool. You've unlocked a housing blueprint. Building a house will unlock a new character. So we push Y, we go to the hammer, and we're going to use the right bumper to go to the housing tab. We're going to select the sheriff's office, and we're just going to place this in. And you can rotate it like a Tetris piece with the right bumper, and balls will bounce right off of these, just like a wall, so you can plan that accordingly. And we've unlocked a new character, the Itchy Finger. Excellent. Now let's see what else we can build. Pretty much nothing. We can't build the cozy home because we don't have 20 wheat and 5 wood. We can't build the boneyard trophy because we don't have any stone. And we can't build a boulder to get stone because we don't have any wood. So what we want to do is build some forest tiles. I'm going to build it like this. And it looks like I can build 1 more, which I will. And then I'm going to build some wheat. If you're running low on space, you can expand by excavating areas rather, outside of your base. So we can push Y and we can go to the expand button, and these cost cumulatively more when you do it. So do this however you want. I'm going to buy this one over here, and then it costs 200, and then the next time it costs 300. And I'm going to go ahead and build, and I'm just going to place in some more wheat. And I'm going to just build actually as much wheat as I can so I can build more forest, which will allow me to get more stone. But I'm going to show you something kind of cool here. I'm not going to build everything. I'm just going to build this many for now. No, I lied. I'm going to build more. I'm going to build this many. Okay. Now, once this is done, you can actually go to the build, or you can push B rather, and then once you have the cursor, you can hold right trigger and push A on something to rearrange it. And you can, it's telling you that you can like drag and rearrange more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push B to cancel that. I'm going to hold right trigger over the forest, push A, and then I'm going to move this back into over here. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'll move this over here, and it will swap it with the wheat. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hold right trigger and then hold A and then just draw up. You see how they're all highlighted by yellow? And then it says push A while hovering to pick it up. So I'm going to pick this group up and I'm going to switch it like this. Now what is this doing? Well, what this is going to do is that it's going to create a wall so that I ensure that my balls bounce in this tight space and get all of the wheat. And if we aim over here, we can ensure that we get the forest. But if we don't think that we are likely to get the forest up here, we can do some more rearranging to increase the likelihood of that. So one thing I can do is I can actually just go like this and switch it like this. And then if I aim here, bounce, bounce, I will get the forest, and then it will stay in here, and then hopefully I will get all of this wheat. So you need to kind of move around. It's free to move these things around, and you want to move them around in such a fashion that you guarantee that you get as many resources as you can in the time limit. And later, when you want to build structures, you're going to want to put those just rearranged so that you hit them and build them. So now we have some resources constructed, and if I go to play, I actually have a second character, the Itchy Finger. And the Itchy Finger is amazing. Really strong character, but you actually kind of want to level up all your characters, because as you'll see, you see how for the warrior, in the bottom center of the screen, there's a little skeleton with a check mark. That means I've beaten the first level with the warrior, and I've received the gear for doing so. And every character that you beat that level with, you get a reward. So you're going to need to clear levels with multiple characters, so you kind of want to level them all up if you can. And that is a great first look at Ball Pit. We explained how to do the regular game phase, the combat. We beat the first level with the warrior. We've unlocked the second character, the Itchy Finger. We've explained how to do harvesting and set up and Rearranged for gathering resources better. And in the next episode, what we're going to do is play as the Itchy Finger, do some more harvesting, and try to build the rest of these structures and keep filling things in so that we can make our account stronger and get further in the game. Everyone, I hope you have found this episode to be useful and fun. And if you have any questions about Ball Pit, please post those in the comments below. And if you are an veteran Ball Pit player, somebody who's been playing it nonstop since it came out a few days ago, and you want to share your tips for new players, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that so much. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'll check you next time. Take care.